It's interesting just throughout my life, throughout the different jobs I've had, I always kind of hit this point after 2 years where I just don't feel satisfied. It's like I just get bored.
So maybe it happened in teaching as well at the 2-year mark, but you kind of fought through that.
I would say maybe 3 years with teaching was that way. But the last 2 years, I was kind of like, I don't know how long I'll be doing this. You know, in hindsight now, it probably was just a matter of this is not what I'm ultimately supposed to be doing.
Sure.
You know, I guess to answer the question of why did I switch from IT to financial services, which is every time I tell people that, they're like, whoa, that's a different thing. That's a big change.
So tell me a little bit about that transition. So you were in IT, earning a paycheck, working for a company, right? And then you decided at some point to become self-employed and you jumped off the deep end, right? That's a big deal.
Yeah, pretty much. And with 4 kids. So that was an interesting move.
You'd said you love this 7 years into it. What do you think has prevented you from, feeling that 2-year itch?
I think for me is there's just no opportunity for monotony, because the people that I'm interacting with, everybody's different. Every person's different. Every family's different. Everybody's situation is unique. It's unique problems, unique challenges. So I don't have opportunity to get bored,
Right. Hey guys, welcome to More Than a Mortgage, the podcast that exists to provide you value before, during, and long after a transaction closes. I'm your host, Gavin Sessions. One of the ways that we provide you value is by introducing you to amazing guests. I'm excited to have Tyler join me here today. I haven't known Tyler for that long, but it's been fun to get to know him a little bit and to hear all of the overlap that we have from our past stories. Tyler is in financial services, like I mentioned, but he didn't start there. So he started as a teacher, believe it or not, and then went into IT services. So Tyler, we're super excited to have you join us today. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Absolutely. Let's go. Yeah. So we got connected to this studio. It's funny. I used to work for Prime Lending for years. They're actually upstairs. They're on the 4th floor. So we were walking past this as they were building it out, not knowing what it was. And so everything fell together. We got recommended to this company by a personal friend. Do you know a guy named Luke Bechtel by chance?
No.
Okay. He used to play drums at Rock Harbor years ago. So maybe before you ever played guitar.
I must have been.
But Luke is close friends with the owner of this company, a guy named Nathan Barry. And it's a bigger, this is just one of their kind of spin-off things, but the company's called Kit. And this is their studio spin-off. What they do is they help content creators monetize. And they do that through old school email newsletters. And so you wouldn't think about it, but the best way for a content creator to get their content out there is, of course, it's nice when the platforms push it out for them, but it's better if you send links to all of your content in a regular email newsletter. And so Kit helps people basically deliver a top-notch newsletter and helps content creators monetize. And the studio spinoff was, hey, what if we started opening some of these studios around the country in some key markets? And Boise's not a key market. It just happens to be where Nathan lives. So they kind of tried it here first.
Nice.
But yeah, to allow some of the bigger creators, if they're traveling, to maybe have a studio they could pop into to record a quick conversation. So that's generally how this all kind of came about.
Nice. It's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And it's a very first class environment too. So I think when people come into this space, they're like, whoa, I feel like I'm on a movie set or a TV set. Right? Yeah. And that's the goal. We want to really just honor the guest and make you feel like you're the star of the show, and you are. So we're glad you're here today.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite.
Where do you want to start?
It's up to you.
Not up to me, but I can help. I can help drive. So I think generally speaking, like we said out there and like we said on the phone, we're really interested to get to know you, right? And so you're a financial advisor, but you're not necessarily from Boise. We're recording this here in Boise today, but you got here somehow, right?
Yeah.
You've got a story, right? And so our goal in this initial episode for sure is to storytell from Tyler. And so, yeah, we'd love to hear kind of wherever you would like to get started. I mean, there's no linear order, right? So really this can be as organic as you like it to be. So we could start talking about the Mariners. We could start talking about your golf game. We can, all those things.
I'm frustrated about both. So
well, let's talk about the Mariners first, because why not?
Actually, I will say I'm pleasantly surprised because I did not expect the Mariners to be where they are this year. So I'm excited about that.
So that's a good start for us. Why are you a Mariners fan?
That is a wonderful question. So I've actually thought about that a lot because I'm just a diehard sports fan. I love sports. And I played baseball when I was younger, played basketball. My older brother, he was always better at sports than me.
Yeah.
He was a harder worker than me. And I always joke that because I've gotten really into golf the last like 4 years, and I play a lot. And yeah, it's therapeutic for me, you know. But I always joked that my brother, I don't think he's ever played golf in his life, but I still just expect that if he picked it up, he would still beat me. You know,
That'd be the worst.
first day out. Well, it's okay. I've accepted that. So,
So are you second to the oldest then?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My older he's 18 months older. So
Oh, really close in age then.
yeah, I'm confident there's things I'm better at at him, and
Good.
he's better athletically than me. So
Nice.
anyway, so I played baseball as a kid when I was younger, and then played basketball throughout junior high and high school. And it was always just kind of a hobby, but I would say, so I always had an appreciation for it. I would say, so I've thought about like, why am I obsessive about sports, and why are other people, good friends of mine, they just don't care?
Yeah.
What is it about that? Like, they just don't care.
I can identify with it. I am obsessive about sports as well. So you're
right.
in good company.
All right. I like it.
Reach over and
A
do
little further than I thought. Sorry.
It's all right.
But this is my theory is that it all comes down to the dad. Okay. So my theory is, and this is just from having lots of conversations with people,
Yeah.
that people that are psychotic about sports, like me, like maybe you,
Yeah.
it's because their dad was also that way.
Okay.
So my dad, I mean, as long as I can remember, my dad was a big Mariners fan, big Seahawks fan. Both Seahawks and Mariners came to town, actually, and the Sonics too, before, right? You know, not long before I was born. So I just was born into that. But
yeah. So where'd you grow up?
Oh yeah, grew up in Kirkland, Washington, just out of Seattle. Yep. So yeah, I mean, in close proximity. Also, growing up, going to the Kingdom, often, you know, going to see Griffey play was just magical, and I didn't realize how good I had it. You know, being 20 minutes away. Yep. Being able to go see him play. Because talking to people now that grew up all over the country, they're like, oh yeah, you know, he's the best. He's my favorite player. Yeah. People call Griffey your favorite player's favorite player. I like
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So yeah, so we were very blessed to grow up in that area.
I agree.
Except for the fact that we didn't have a lot of postseason success.
Oh. Very limited.
Yeah.
And dang, is it ever stressful to be a postseason baseball fan?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I have lots of memories of growing up, going to baseball games in the Kingdom as well.
Yeah. Did you ever do the Buhner night where you shave your head to get tickets for free?
No, but I knew kids that did.
Yeah.
Did you?
My brother did it. I didn't do it. I didn't want to shave my head.
It's funny. I didn't want to shave my head either, but now I have a shaved head, right? So should have done it.
Yeah.
Cool. So grew up in the Seattle area, huge sports fan. Mm-hmm. You rattled off Huskies, Mariners, Seahawks, Sonics. Yep. If you could only pick one.
Oh, geez. That's really hard. Well, I actually am still a season ticket holder for the Seahawks.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. There's a story there.
Yeah. So I would say that's probably, there's just something about football. Okay. It connects with my soul or something. I don't know.
It's a big day today then. We've got game 7 for the Mariners tonight.
I know. It's too much.
And then 2 hours later, after that game starts, we have the Seahawks.
Yeah. And I get nervous on game days. Yeah. Which I wish I didn't, but I do. And now I got 2 huge games, Monday Night Football and game 7 of the ALCS. So yeah.
I can't even remember who the Seahawks play tonight.
Texans.
Oh, okay. CJ Stroud and company coming to town. Mm-hmm. I think the Hawks are favored.
Yes. Yeah, Texans haven't been as good.
No. That was a bit of a one-off, I feel like, that they did well. So
I like Stroud a lot. He's a really likable guy.
Super awesome dude.
Did you see him in the he had a post-game interview? I think it was last season, but he's wearing a Mariners hat. Or maybe that was this year.
He's from Southern California.
He's from Southern California and plays in Texas, but I don't know.
He's a Mariner fan.
He likes the logo or something. I don't know, but we'll take it.
Tough sledding being an Angels fan, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Or an
He got a lot of flack because he plays in Houston too, wearing a Mariners hat.
That's true. That literally right next door.
Yeah.
So I went to the national championship when Washington played Michigan.
Oh, you did?
Houston in 23.
Oh, wow.
And I was very surprised. Actually, I should clarify. Right next door is the old Astrodome. It's still there, next to RFK. I can't remember what the Texans stadium's called.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But yes, now Houston baseball plays, I think, downtown. I don't think it's called Minute Maid anymore, but
Yeah.
they've shoehorned it into a city block, which is what gives them that really vertical outfield wall. So, but Houston, we don't want to talk. Let's give Houston no camera time. We get Houston.
Agreed.
Okay, so Seahawks, you would say would be your team if
I had to choose, probably I'd say when I was in high school, Sonics were number one for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
they were good.
They were really good. And I was playing basketball and they were awesome. Seahawks were not very good in the 90s. So
no,
that was, Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, Detlef Schrempf.
Oh yeah.
Ray
Did you go to playoff games back in the day?
I definitely went to games. I can't remember if I went to a playoff game. I might have. But I remember, as a kid, like we would just drive downtown and go to a game. Like it was no big deal.
Do you remember the earthquake that happened during the Sonic game?
I remember hearing about that.
I don't remember how old I was, but it was, a long time ago. And I remember watching it. It might have been playoffs. So if it was probably June. It may not have been playoffs. I don't know. But I remember sitting in a house where we grew up in Lake Stevens.
Oh, yeah.
Earthquake happens and we're watching the Sonic game.
Was that during the playoffs?
I don't know. Might have been.
Yeah, that does ring a bell.
I think it would have had to have been in the, let's see, I was born in 82.
Me too.
So it was probably in like the mid 90s.
Okay. Yeah.
Somewhere in that range.
Sounds right. I was born in 82 as well.
Nice. I knew we were going to be.
Did you graduate in 2000?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah.
Class of 2000.
Yeah. I claim to be like the oldest millennial.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though the lines are always blurred and who knows.
I think 1981 is they are
okay.
They've said is the first millennials, but we're right in there.
Yeah, I mean, if you graduate in the turn of the millennia, I feel like we should be, by definition, a millennial.
Are you familiar with Zennial?
No.
So Zennial is a term that refers to those of us that are older millennials or maybe young Gen X.
Okay.
So like, I guess I would say maybe 79 to 83, 78, 83, kind of like when you're born in those ages. And what's unique about that is that we kind of got to experience two worlds. Because when we were really young, there was no internet, right?
Right.
I remember when my kids were little, my son asked me, he's like, how did you watch TV without the internet? Like, how does that work? He just didn't compute with him.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Rabbit ears.
What's that?
Rabbit ears.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember having an analog dial to change the channel on our TV as a kid.
Right.
Yeah. Crazy.
Right. And then we got cable and that was amazing, but
amazing. Crazy.
But yeah, so we grew up with, without much technology, and then we got a Nintendo, and then it was kind of had that phasing in of, it's just interesting how much technology drastically changed in the 80s, like late 80s.
Yeah.
Early 90s.
I remember going to Lake Chelan as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
My grandparents had a place over there probably since I want to say maybe the 60s. So they got in at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And it became a family cabin that all of the uncles and aunts and cousins could use. And so my family would get a week or so a summer. But I remember going to Lake Chelan as a kid, call it, 10 years old or whatever. So early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like stepping back in time. About 20 years is what it felt like. And then, of course, with the invention of the internet and the fact that information now travels at the speed of light, basically, now when you go to small towns, you don't feel like you're stepping back in time anymore. But that was wild.
Yeah.
I remember it literally felt like the internet didn't exist, right? And over the 3 hours to the east, over the mountains, and it was a totally different world over there.
Yeah, it's true. It is. That's maybe the reason why we like going out there. I think I told you before, we vacation there all the time too.
You still do?
We went in June actually.
Oh, cool.
But I hadn't been for like 5 years, 5, 6 years. So
we both had this similar trip.
I know.
So we went.
It's kind of wild.
Labor Day, we hadn't been in probably 5 years.
Yeah.
So
we went in June actually.
Good. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So sports fan, sports crazy, fanatical crazy. I'm probably right there with you. You think you're hypothesizing that you inherited that from your dad.
Definitely. Yeah.
So your dad's a sports crazy guy.
My dad, my older brother and younger brother, all four of us, we actually have a dedicated text thread to, just talking about Seattle sports.
Probably been active today then.
Yeah. It's every day.
Yeah.
Literally every day there's something going on.
That's fun.
We're talking about something. Yeah.
That's cool. It's a fun way to stay in touch with immediate family.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Where does your parents live now?
So my parents actually moved out here about a year ago, September.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. Nice. And let's just rewind then. So you grew up in the Seattle area, huge sports fan there.
Yep.
Where did you go to college in that area?
Yeah. So I did, you know where Cascadia, UW Bothell?
Yeah.
So I was there for a while, and then I did North Seattle University, did some stuff online. I bounced around a bunch.
Okay.
So yeah, I was kind of all over the place. My younger brother and younger sister did UW. So they did it like more straightforward. Yep. I was all over the place.
Yeah. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
So as a kid, I kind of asked this question to a lot of people. Did you grow up wanting to be a financial advisor?
That's a good question. No, I didn't really, I didn't have anybody in my life growing up that was, had this kind of acumen. And so I didn't really understand it.
Okay.
You know, you kind of hear about the stock market and it all seems really just ethereal. And there's some wealthy guys in New York that do that. Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't really understand what that process was like. So I'm actually in my third career.
Okay.
My first career, I was a teacher at a private school, taught math and science. So did that for 5 years. And then that was 5 years was long enough for that.
What age group were you teaching?
Junior high and high school.
Okay.
So yeah, it was really, really, really fun. But for a lot of reasons, I just, 5 years was long enough.
So you graduated with a teaching certificate then?
Kind of.
Okay.
Kind of. Yeah. It was like kind of a unique situation where I was kind of able to, my first couple of years of teaching was kind of able to get training and kind of grow into that position. Yeah. So didn't officially have that.
Okay.
So my first year or two of teaching, it was kind of, a way to kind of get educated on the job in a sense.
Yeah. Anything intentional? Did you have a moment where you're like, I'm going to be a teacher?
Not necessarily. I remember in high school, I really kind of fell in love with science and the sciences and physics and stuff like that. I just thought it was super cool. I always wanted to know how things work. Why do things operate the way they do?
Yeah.
And always been kind of a problem solver. So, it did kind of make sense. But then the gal who was a principal at the school kind of approached me about it. And, hey, I think you do great with kids. And, you have this ability here, in education. Do you think, is this something you'd be interested in? I was like, well, sure. And I'll look into that, So
you were working at a school already?
No. Well, I was leading up to that, trying to remember what I was doing before. I was bouncing around.
Okay.
Yeah. I worked at the church a bit that I was a part of, I guess it was with young people. I was young, so.
Yeah.
Working with people my age, I guess. So it's kind of like an internship program that I was a part of at the church. Yep. And then I was working at a sign shop for a while, working at a paper store. Nothing too exciting.
Got it. But that led to a career in education.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So did that for 5 years. And then it's funny because I actually, when I first started going to school, I started going to school for computer science. So I always had kind of an interest in technology and computers. And so then while I was a teacher, I started just naturally supporting the school and staff and, with that kind of thing, because I was the one who knew what I was doing. So
yeah, you were the IT guy.
Exactly. Just kind of de facto. So other teachers would come up to me and, how do you do this? My printer's not working, this thing or whatever. So got some experience with that and realized I really enjoy that aspect of it. I just felt like it was a little bit more stimulating to me, just the challenge. And like I said, just the environment I was teaching at, it didn't feel like I could be there much longer, so it was time to move on. So anyway, so then I switched over and started working in IT.
Got it.
And just kind of somewhat entry level. I got a there was a stint where I was working at Costco corporate in Issaquah. So actually at the time I was living in Bothell Linwood area.
Okay.
So I'd get up, I would drive I think I was working 7 to noon at Costco in Issaquah. So if Linwood to Issaquah.
Yeah, I know it well.
Yeah. So that was 7 to noon in Issaquah at Costco. And then my lunch break, I would drive from Issaquah to South Lake Union.
Okay.
in Seattle.
Yeah.
And I was working at an architecture engineering firm there from 1 to 5. And then 5 o'clock, drive home, I-5, back up to Linwood. So
this was your IT career.
that was kind of the beginning.
Okay.
That was kind of like paying my dues.
Were you an employee of Costco or were you on site as like a vendor?
I was a, what do you call it? Just like a 1099.
Okay.
Yeah.
What year was that, out of curiosity?
2009.
Okay. I'm looking for small world here. We were there at the same time. I worked for Costco corporate.
You did?
Yeah.
No way.
During that same era.
Really?
Bonkers. Yeah.
What were you doing there?
I was a buyer for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I started working for Costco as an 18-year-old kid, pushing carts at the Everett Costco. Graduated high school, went and became a cart pusher, worked for Costco all the way through college. By the time I graduated, I had a business degree and almost 5 years with the company. And I was like, geez, this is a pretty good company. Maybe I should just look at career opportunities that they had at their corporate office. So it turns out I graduated in 2004, hung around Bellingham. I went to Western, hung around Bellingham for another year. In February of 2006, I moved down to Bellevue and took a job at the corporate office in Issaquah.
Really?
And I was there from, call it all of 2006 until, I want to say middle of 12. So yeah. Same time. So I was there for about 6 years.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
Yeah.
We might have run into each other at the cafeteria or
Guarantee we did. That's hilarious.
That's awesome. Small world.
Very small world. Okay.
The more that we get to know each other, the more I'm like, man,
more overlap.
A lot of overlap.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. Okay.
So I did that. I did that for a little bit. That was kind of like my, introduction into that world. I did some small contract stuff. But that was my first kind of full-time deal.
I mean, not a Costco employee, but you were working
just contractor.
IT. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So half your day was out in Issaquah, half your day was in South Lake Union.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then eventually I got hired on full-time at the architecture firm in South Lake Union. Okay. So then switched over to that. So yeah, then it was just kind of bouncing around different IT jobs and, working my way up. Started out as just kind of a desktop support type guy. That's what I was doing at Costco.
Yeah.
And then eventually got to be a systems engineer. I'd say probably the majority of my IT career was, systems engineering, working in data centers, that kind of thing. And it's interesting just throughout my life, throughout the different jobs I've had, I always kind of hit this point after 2 years where I just don't feel satisfied. It's like I just get bored. I don't mean to sound.
So maybe it happened in teaching as well at the 2-year mark, but you kind of fought through that.
I would say maybe 3 years with teaching was that way. But the last 2 years, I was kind of like, I don't know how long I'll be doing this. It's like there's aspects of it I really, really did like and that were fulfilling. But other aspects, which I think, in hindsight now, it probably was just a matter of this is not what I'm ultimately supposed to be doing.
Sure.
I don't at all think that any of that was, I was searching through, trying different things, and then I found the right thing. I think it was the right thing for then.
Yeah. And
I think everything I've done has led me to where I'm at now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think, I guess to answer the question of why did I switch from IT to, financial services, which is every time I tell people that, they're like, whoa, that's a different thing. That's a big change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, looking back on it, I think that there's a lot of things that I gained from all the different experiences that I had.
Right.
And, a big part of what I do now is educating. And it's, we often talk to our folks that we're working with, along those lines is my job is to educate you. My job is to take the really complex and make it simple. I mean, that's a huge part of my role. And so, getting that experience teaching kids, definitely helped me to develop that skill. So, and then of course in IT, I did a decade in IT, that's, you learn a lot about problem solving, which is a huge part of my job now is problem solving. And then also dealing with things that cause stress. And, when technology doesn't work and you're relying on that for your job, that can really make your day frustrating. So
yeah, case in point today, right?
Case in point today.
We don't want to throw AWS under the bus too much, but today's a AWS outage, I guess. Yeah, it's cool. You beat me to the punch. I was going to ask you a question. Did you think your time in education prepared you for your career now? And you said it without me having to ask it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. You don't always know as you're going through things, you don't always know what the purpose is or what you're gleaning from it. You're just kind of, for me, it was, I got a family, I got a wife, I got kids, and I gotta, provide for them. Yeah. I got a bunch of mouths to feed and a mortgage to pay. And so, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to do what I got to do. And in hindsight, I'm like, oh, okay. There was definitely divine providence in that. There was definitely things that I grew in and gained and learned, and that I have with me now. I'm really grateful for that. I mean, even teaching young kids before I had kids, I think has made me a better dad too.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great. I love what you said a few minutes ago too, that it was the right thing for that season, I think is how you said it. It wasn't necessarily the right thing forever, right? It wasn't the long-term career.
Right.
But looking back, I think it's really appropriate for us to measure backwards. I've got a really great book that I point a lot of people to that I think is a great book. It's called The Gap and the Gain. I
just read that.
You did?
Based on your recommendation.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So I think it's very awesome to be able to look back and say, hey, where have I come from? And then you can measure the victory, right? Yes. The wins that have been there.
Yes.
If we're always just looking forward, then that goalpost is perpetually moving forward, and we're measuring ourselves against some sort of expected place, right? And that's just gap mindset.
Exactly. Right? And somebody like myself, I know I told you this when we had coffee, a few weeks back, I'm the type naturally that I'm always looking ahead. I'm always looking at, what's the next thing? What am I looking to accomplish? What are the goals? I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
I'm always looking at the gap, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And so that was a really good recommendation for me.
Cool.
So that book was really good. It's one of those books. I think you even said it, but I feel the same way. That'd probably be good to read like once a year.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, stopping and smelling the roses, stopping and looking back and seeing, wow, I'm actually a lot further than I expected to be at this point, or whatever. Like, counting those gains that you've made, I think is so crucial.
That's awesome. Let's talk a little about your family, because you mentioned them. You think that potentially being in education has made you a better dad. Let's talk about that.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about your family.
Yeah. So my wife and I just celebrated our 20th anniversary in July, which is
that's awesome.
Makes me feel really old.
Well, you just got a young start.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe I am old. My kids think I am.
A little bit. We'll have to admit it at some point.
I know. We're the same age, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Do you feel old?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel old. I serve in Slingshot at church, and so I'm always around. And I've got 3 kids myself, and so we're around kids. I think that helps keep us a little bit young.
Absolutely.
But occasionally I feel like, whoa, these kids are, 20 plus years younger than me.
Yeah.
25 years younger than me, probably. So
sometimes I feel old.
30 years younger than me, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
As we start to do the math in reality.
Yeah.
13, sometimes I feel old. I feel like at 40, there were some aches and pains I never had before. And I think people will make fun of us with that. For that, even somebody in this room would probably make fun of us right now, as Amy sits over there and smiles. But I hear that 50s, you feel even a little bit older is what it sounds like. So I think enjoy our 40s.
Yeah. So I got to stay healthy.
Yeah, exactly. Stay active.
Stay active.
Supposedly, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Exactly. So yeah, so I have 4 kids. My oldest is just turned 16.
Okay.
Just got his license. He's driving, which is a little wild.
That is wild.
Yeah.
He just turned 16.
Just turned 16.
And did he get his license on his 16th birthday, or?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, his birthday was on a Friday, so he got it on the following Monday or Tuesday, I think.
Were you guys one of the families that decided to wait until he was 16 to get his license? Because we're in that spot right now.
There's you'll know, I mean, this as a parent. There's the balance of guiding your kids and holding their hand a little bit, and also letting them figure things out, and take responsibility. That's very important to me as a dad, to find that balance with my kids, So with my son, it was kind of like, I'm not in a huge hurry for him to start driving anyway, So I'm going to let him drive this, no pun intended, so if he wants to make this happen, he's got to make it happen. So of course, we're helping him along with it. And he got a car, and there was some issues with the title and a bunch of stuff. So, we're working through that right now, and I don't want to leave him hanging, but I'm like, you call the DMV and ask him this question. I'm giving him a script.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's good for you to go through this and,
It's great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Learn how to do it.
Yeah, we're
So-
we're negotiating and navigating through this all very much in real time.
How old is your oldest?
He's 15. He just
Okay.
turned 15
Oh,
2
yeah.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he just started online driver's ed
Nice.
just this last
Yeah.
weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good.
we're in the throes of that, trying to
Yeah.
figure out all the rules. Evidently, you have to have your permit for 6 months, I think, before you can get your driver's license.
Right.
But in Idaho, you can get your driver's license early as 15.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, you can start at 14 and a half.
Yeah.
Doing driver's ed and all that. Yeah.
crazy.
I know. That's way too young.
Agree.
That's way too young. I have a 14 and a half year old daughter, and that's too young.
Okay, so 16-year-old son, 14 and a half daughter.
Yep.
Okay.
And then 11-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old daughter.
Nice. So you're 3 daughters.
3 girls.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
I've got 1. And you wouldn't want it any other way. It's
No.
all you know.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. It's like, well, for me, we had, I did kind of want to have a firstborn son.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just, maybe I was supposed to. And so got that out of the way. That was cool. And
Yeah.
our second child was a girl. And I'm like, sweet, I got one of each. So, and we knew we wanted to have a couple more. So everything else was a bonus after that.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love having girls. They're awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I've got 1 daughter and I agree. It's funny. She'll hear this at some point, and she knows this to be true. We had a boy first,
Mhm.
Cohen, and then I just didn't even give any type of, I'm trying to think of the right word. I'm losing the word, but I did not embrace the fact that it was a 50-50 shot on that.
Yeah.
It's either going to be a boy or a girl.
Mhm.
I just had the assumption that I guess I only have boys, right? We had a first boy. So then my next one will be a boy. And if we have any more, we'll have boys. And it's funny. Our second child was a daughter. And I was like, whoa, this is mind blowing. I had to kind of like work through the fact that we weren't having another son.
Yeah.
And now I wouldn't trade it any other way. My daughter's most like me of my kids.
That's
And
awesome.
So she's a total blessing. But
Yeah. Well, and they're also different too.
Mhm.
You know, obviously there's explicit differences between boys and
Yes.
girls, but there's explicit differences between all of them.
Yeah.
You know, my 3 girls are all very different from
Yeah.
each other in a lot of ways. They're alike in a lot of ways too, but
that's cool.
Yeah.
Is your son a fanatical sports fan? If
he is.
continuing on with
He
the
is, definitely.
hereditary.
Yeah, he is. He is. And actually my younger girls, last night during the Mariners game, I went over to my brothers and they were like, I really want to watch the game with you. And I'm like, really? 10 and 11-year-old girls?
Nice. Did they?
And they did. So they came over to my brothers with me and they played with their cousins half the time, but still.
Somewhat
So
interested.
they're showing some interest. Yeah,
That's
which
cool.
is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My oldest son my boys in general really have zero sports interest.
Really?
My youngest plays flag football.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest dabbled in a lot of sports when he was younger. Now he's, he would say he's a golfer and
Nice.
he's a pretty good skier. And
Nice.
so maybe he's just kind of into life sports, but he's not competitive at all. So I think he just doesn't necessarily click with him why somebody would be a sports fan.
Mm.
My daughter is much more into it than my sons.
Get your sons to play fantasy football. That'll get them into it.
That's probably true, actually.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of that. I retired from fantasy football a few years ago. It was the greatest decision I've made in my adult life.
Yeah. I used to do like 5-6 leagues at a time.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing about 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, this is ridiculous, taking over too much time. So I'm doing a league this year, but I'm just doing it with family.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Maybe I should do a league with my sons, like a late season or mid season.
Yeah, you can.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So it's my son, it's my brother, it's my brother's wife, it's my other brother, my nephews.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good
That's
idea.
the only thing that'll get me back into it because it was obnoxious.
Yeah.
It just
Love
takes
it.
so much of your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. 20 years married, 4 kids. And how did you guys, I don't want to fast forward you here, but somehow you ended up in Idaho, right?
Yeah.
How long have you guys been here?
Yeah, we moved here March 8th of 2020.
Okay.
And I remember the date because it was exciting.
Yeah. There was something going on around 2020.
There was. Yeah. The funny thing is, so the very first case of COVID reported in the U.S. was in Totem Lake. If anybody doesn't know, it's a little part of
That's where we used to live,
Kirkland.
right there.
And I lived in Totem Lake, right by Evergreen Hospital.
Yep. So did we.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course we did.
My kids were born at Evergreen Hospital.
All 4 of mine too.
There you go.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's good place to be born. It's good.
Yeah,
hospital.
it was.
But yeah, so that case was reported, I think, a week or 2 before we moved here. So when we first moved here, I didn't tell anybody I came from Kirkland. So
Yeah, because that was like ground zero.
the Seattle area, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Although COVID was probably elsewhere. Just
Hadn't been detected necessarily. Okay, so 5 years. What do you guys think so far? Do you love it?
yeah, we love it. We love it. It feels like home. Yeah, it's growing up in the Seattle area, I never really thought I would want to live anywhere else. You know, I just, I still have some affection for it, and, you know, my roots, my hometown, I guess, you know, I go back there probably at least once a quarter.
Oh, okay. That's pretty frequent.
Yeah. We have a lot of clients up there, and I still have a little bit of family up there. So, yeah, I typically will go up about once a quarter, and it's interesting because it just doesn't feel like home anymore.
Yeah.
Like you know, flying back here, flying over the Boise Mountains, it's just, I'm home.
Something feels good about it.
Yeah.
Remember that feeling when I was a kid, we'd go east to the mountains and I'd always have a, kind of an exhale, like, oh, this feels right.
Yes. I agree with you, man. Something about Central Washington.
Yeah.
Such a good feel.
It is a good feel.
That's interesting because I had that same thought about here. I mean, obviously the climate's pretty similar, you know, kind of that high desert.
Yep.
You know, you have 4 seasons, very dry, long, hot summers.
Yep.
I always loved that in Central Washington. Yeah.
Yes. Exact same. It's good for me to no longer live on the doomy, gloomy 9 months, crappy weather. So
yes, we had some outdoor chairs that we moved over here, and of course they were covered in moss, like everything was, right?
Yeah.
So we moved here March. Within about 2 weeks, all the moss had died, was gone. The chairs were clean.
You have to clean them.
Yeah.
Just put them in the sun.
I know. It's amazing how that
funny.
works. Yeah, you need lots of moisture, I guess. We don't have a lot of that here.
Yeah. So what was your driver to move your family here?
Yeah, that's a good question. So my wife and I, we spent a couple of years, you know, talking about scheming, you know, potentially moving out of the Seattle area. Just felt like, you know, for a lot of reasons, I don't know, just had a sense that it was, you know, time to do something different. And the funny thing is, so years ago, you know, years before we moved, we started to have that inclination, started talking about it, but just where I was at in my work and career, it just didn't really make sense at the time. And the funny thing is, my entire family moved away in between that time of me saying, I'm looking about moving. And they were like, what? You're crazy. And then in between then and us actually moving, they all moved. So that seed was planted in
15, 16, somewhere in that?
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Okay. And then your whole family leaves Seattle. Where'd they go?
So my younger brother moved to Spokane, got a job over there.
Okay.
And then my parents and my sister followed them.
All right.
And then my older brother moved to Colorado Springs area. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
So they left me.
Yeah.
For a little bit. Yeah. But then about a year after my parents and my sister moving, we ended up, we moved here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we knew we wanted to, I don't know, we knew we were kind of supposed to get away.
Yep.
But looked around a lot of different places, kind of had an inclination it would be somewhere in the western part of the country, but we actually almost moved to Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
We really liked that city a lot. We actually had a neighborhood picked out, and I mean, we were very, very close to moving.
It's a great town.
It is a cool town. But I don't know, some stuff came up, some stuff happened that kind of slowed it down. And then we were like, well, you know, we should still go check out Boise because we had thought about it.
Yeah.
So we came and visited here in 2018 in September. Good time of the year to visit.
Very nice. Yeah.
And we were like, okay, this is it. It just immediately had that feeling of this is where we're supposed to put roots.
Much easier move as far as relocation goes.
Absolutely.
Too. Just absolutely far closer.
Mm-hmm. And that's honestly part of the reason, you know, because I still have a lot of clients in Washington State.
Yeah.
Families kind of predominantly around the Northwest. It just made a lot more sense for us to be here.
So had you already started your financial services career prior to moving to?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about that transition. So you were in IT, earning a paycheck, working for a company.
Yep.
Right. And then you decided at some point to become self-employed and you jumped off the deep end, right? That's a big deal.
Yeah, pretty much. And with 4 kids. So that was an interesting move, much to my wife's chagrin. But it's funny because I've thought about it's actually my third career, significant career.
Yeah.
And all 3 I've just started at nothing, started making peanuts, you know, and then just kind of worked my way up. So I must be I don't know, resilient to that. Like it doesn't bother me that much. I mean, I don't like not making money, but I don't know, maybe it's vision that drove me.
Sure.
And I, you know, I'm a very driven person. So I'm like, I'm going to make this happen and make it work. So yeah, I mean, it definitely was challenging going from a comfortable IT job in Bellevue, Washington, switching over to 100% commission job. I'd never done that before.
Yeah.
So.
And you did it before you moved, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't necessarily have probably a huge nest egg.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We did it a little bit differently. I came to Boise and I kept my job at Microsoft.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And so we sold our house and had a little bit of some reserves. And
nice.
I knew I wanted to get into some sort of real estate sales of some sort. Ended up in mortgage, of course, but we had that nest egg of money that we didn't reinvest. And so we were able to kind of float ourselves and use that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We sold a house in Kirkland and I had some stock options from a job I was working at. So that kind of helped me get by the first year.
So you kind of did have a nest egg then when you left.
A little bit.
When you left the IT job, you were able to, okay.
Yeah.
But you guys didn't sell your house right at that point in time though, did you?
Yeah, we actually did. I'm trying to think of I think we actually sold our house the same month that I got licensed.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
So you get just a glutton for punishment
Yeah,
then.
pretty much. Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know if it's necessarily intentional.
And you were moving in town though, in the Seattle area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we knew we wanted to move here.
Yep.
At that, already beforehand, but because 2018 was when I started to do all my tests and work on getting licensed. And 2018 is when we visited here, so we kind of already had a game plan.
Yeah.
Weren't sure about the timing, but so basically did my first year in the business in the Seattle area.
Yep.
And as far as go back a little bit, as far as what got me into the business. So my wife's dad, he's been in the business a long, long time, and he and I were just hanging out, having lunch, and over probably a year or two, just having conversations about it. And I thought it was my idea kind of thing, but he was very clever and kind of dropped.
Of course.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good salesman.
That's good.
So, but he kind of, I guess he kind of strategically convinced me to think about doing something different. So.
Well, it was a really good season of life. I think you were 36 at the time, if I'm doing the math correct. I might be a little biased, but I also made that career change when I was 36.
Is it parallel again, man?
Yeah, I think it's also just enough experience, having done some things and just established enough maybe to feel confident that you could make a move like that.
Right.
And of course you had a family member, father-in-law kind of invite you into it. So that's cool.
Yeah, that helped a lot. I don't know if I would have done it without him because, like I said, I didn't have guidance growing up in that. I don't have a lot of understanding, but I started to have some interest in it. And actually, it's funny. I kind of got in pretty early on like Bitcoin and stuff, because I was just like,
you personally did?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I had a friend who was like, "You should check this out." I'm like, "Okay." It's 2014.
Yeah, that's a good time to get on Bitcoin.
Yeah, so I bought a little bit of Bitcoin in 2014, which was a good time.
I hope you still own it.
I'd still own some, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I wish I put a lot more into it, but.
Yeah, I hear the Bitcoin horror stories from people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I used to have 200 of them in 2014. And I'm like, oh my word.
Yeah, like the guy who traded one for a pizza or whatever. And, now it's like a $100,000 pizza.
Like, I know. Crazy.
I know. Yeah. So, I think I had some inclination, interest, I guess, toward that. But then it was, just conversations with my father-in-law, getting to know him and what he's doing. And, over that couple of years of talking with him, I was like, man, this is really cool. I think this could be the next step for me. And like we were saying earlier, just the way kind of different things led to where I'm at now. Now I feel, I told you I get the 2-year itch, with all the different jobs. I don't have that at all anymore.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I'm doing it for 7 years now.
Yeah.
And I love it every day.
That's great.
Yeah. So I definitely feel like I'm in my calling now.
Yeah. So it was important for you you made a career change that you kind of get established where you were, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had a really close friend at the time when we had the itch to move because we made the decision to move here would have been July of 16, but at the same time wanted to make a career change away from Microsoft. And I had a guy tell me, hey, don't relocate and become self-employed at the exact same time. That's not a good mixture of things to do. And maybe it could have worked, but so much of being successful in sales is having community and having a sphere of influence. And if I was going to relocate and have none of that, that would have been really challenging. So you did it a little bit differently, right? You stayed put and established yourself.
Yeah. And a lot of that was because my father-in-law, he was living in the Seattle area at the time. And so it was a way for me to really kind of mentor under him.
Be mentored. Yeah.
Be mentored. Yeah. Be a mentor.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like, I need a good year under my belt, just going to meetings with him and just learning the ropes. And I learned a lot that year. So, but yeah, moving here, it was definitely a little bit of a leap of faith because I didn't know anybody here and didn't have a book of business here. And
so you were probably 18 months or so into your business?
it was just under a year actually when we moved.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the licensing took a little longer. So it wasn't until like 19 that you kind of got up and running.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah. Cause I started the process in 2018 and then officially was like licensed, ready to go in early 2019.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So 19 was your first full year. And then you guys you'd been successful enough that you felt like you could relocate and not cut yourself off at the knees.
Sorta, but it was also a leap of faith.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was interesting because, I think COVID, obviously impacted a lot, just in, business wise, well, in so many areas, but
yes.
And so, it was pretty much right after moving here, people became a lot more comfortable doing things over Zoom meetings and phone call and stuff like that. So I quickly had to learn how to do business over the phone and build a relationship with people. And so that was, exactly. All of us did. So that was kind of like a jumping right into the deep end.
Yep.
Learning how to, because I was a year into my career after moving here, and then, learning how to build trust over the phone is tough.
Sure.
It's really tough. So it was a good learning experience though.
That's awesome. Let's just kind of think about just kind of where we've been. So you guys, you established your business in early 19, you kind of got your feet under you. Mm-hmm. You had on your heart's desire was to get to Boise, and that had been kind of percolating for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. And then you get here, and what was the first thing you did, knowing that you were in sales and you needed to build community? What was the first kind of thing that you guys did to try to reestablish yourself from a community standpoint? Yeah,
that's a good question. We talk a lot about like different marketing silos, those of us that are in sales type businesses. Yeah. And so I kind of tried my hand at a lot of different things, actually, even before moving here, I was putting some time in at like the expos that they do at the Expo Idaho, the fairgrounds. Mm-hmm. So trying to just network, was a big part of it.
You were making trips out here. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So even a few months before moving out here, I was coming out probably at least once or twice a month.
Yeah.
Just trying to network, get
Planting
to know
seeds.
People. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things, just trying to build a relationship with other business owners in the area. And then, I actually had through the company I was working with before, there was a leads program that they had set up, and it was a way for me to connect with, they were called orphan clients. So basically clients of the broker dealer that the agent was no longer around or involved.
So they were left behind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's where I was getting a lot of my appointments and a lot of my, relationships. So moving here, there was not much of a presence so I was with Prudential Advisors at the time.
Yeah.
And there was not much of a Prudential presence here locally. And so, like I said, I was putting effort into networking and trying to connect with other business leaders but actually connecting with those clients that just didn't have local representation ended up being a really, really good situation for me. So I actually built a lot of good relationships with people that way. And I still actually have a number of clients from that.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
So fast forward a few years, you're probably not with Prudential any longer.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about your company that you're with now.
Yeah. So my broker dealer is Equitable Advisors. Okay. So basically all of our compliance and investments, all that has to go through a FINRA approved, broker dealer. So that's with Equitable, but our company is called Best Financial Services.
Okay.
So that's our DBA.
Nice.
And I joke that we're confident, calling ourselves the best.
I was going to say, that's a very bold name.
But it is actually my father-in-law's name. His last name is Best. So
that works out well for you.
Yeah. So I'm like, we're confident. We're just not that confident. But
yeah, well, that's a good qualifier.
Yeah.
So are you in business with your father-in-law at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So he recruited me, and then I trained under him, and now we're partners.
That's great.
So yeah, it's awesome.
Cool. And you'd said you love this 7 years into it. Mm-hmm. What do you think has prevented you from, feeling that 2-year itch?
Yeah, good question. I think for me there's just no opportunity for monotony. There's nothing that just gets rote, because the people that I'm interacting with, everybody's different. Every person's different. Every family's different. Everybody's situation is unique. It's unique problems, unique challenges. There's new products coming out there. There's new regulation. So I always got to be on my toes. So I don't have opportunity to get bored,
Right.
But I think bigger than that. I think I'm really I'm in my calling. I think I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's why it's so fulfilling.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. So outside of financial services, financial advising, what else do you like to do in your life? You mentioned your kids already and your wife, 20 years. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How else do you spend your time?
Well, sometimes I feel like if I'm not working, I'm driving my kids to some sporting event that they have, and that's my life.
Yeah.
So sometimes it feels that way. Lately it has been. But yeah, I mean, definitely, far and away, biggest priority in my life is being a good dad.
That's awesome.
Yeah, being with my kids is number one. I do actually, well, it's not just me, but started out as me, but now my son and actually soon to be my daughter, we are involved with the worship team at our church.
That's awesome.
At your church?
Yeah, at Rock Harbor.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's been really cool. Been a really, really fun, because I grew up playing music. Started playing it right before my 12th birthday. Started playing guitar, and music's always been a huge part of my life. And
that's cool.
Yeah, and through a lot of circumstances, kind of, I never lost interest in it, but I just wasn't really playing much. And then so definitely gotten back into that. And then my son he caught the bug about 1.5 years ago, and he's super passionate about it, which is really, really fun. So it's really fun, obviously, just having that experience with him and playing with him. But also serving with him is really, really rewarding.
Yeah.
So, and my
daughter
daughter
was on stage last night playing bass, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And my daughter's going to start singing too.
That's
for Slingshot. So
awesome.
you'll see her quite soon.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's great.
Yeah.
Cool,
and
man.
Then I like having a good golf shot every now and again in between a bunch of bad shots. So
it's a very addicting feeling when you hit a good one. It's like,
yeah,
feels so good.
Yeah. Golf is weird. It's weird.
Have you read the book Golf is Not a Game of Perfect?
No.
I just started that one about a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. It's got some good parallels. He doesn't write it from a business perspective, but the game of golf has so many parallels to the business, to business, I should say, not the business. And anyway,
I gotta check that out.
Listen to it or read it, however you prefer.
Nice.
But I've been enjoying that one over the past couple of weeks or so.
Yeah,
it's
that's
really,
great.
Really good.
Yeah, there's something. It's like a primitive, deep nature element to golf. I don't know what it is, but it's so addicting.
Yes,
and it just that drive to be better.
And I think it's probably so addicting to folks that have maybe share our personality, which is very driven to be good.
Yeah.
I'm an Enneagram 3. I don't know if that means anything to you, but it's an achiever. And so everything I do that I would decide that I want to do, I want to be the best that I could possibly be.
Yes.
I still have dreams to be on the PGA Tour, which is a joke because I'm not even close, right? But my last guest, we were talking about maybe being on the senior tour together. That'd be just skip the regular tour and maybe we'll be good enough someday.
There you go.
On the senior tour.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Maddening game and very addicting game and a ton of fun though as well.
Yeah. What's your best score you've ever gotten?
76.
Nice. Good for you.
How about you?
84.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should play some golf.
We should. I'll make you feel better about yourself.
Well, maybe not. You just never know.
76. That's pretty good. What course?
Purple Sage, actually.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. So I actually took a lesson I want to say in the spring, and I hadn't taken a lesson since I lived in Kirkland, which was a very long time ago. And I took a lesson with the pro at Topgolf, actually. So plug him, Lauren Jeglum.
Okay.
Really great guy. He's about $100 an hour. And I went and I was like, I used to be able to break 80 about once a summer. And I'm like, I'm nowhere near that right now because golf's just a maddening game. It's like you can be in a great rhythm and then you lose it for some crazy reason. Right. And so that the book, Golf is Not a Game of Perfect, actually addresses that specifically. Nice. But if you haven't had a lesson recently, I'd highly recommend having a lesson.
I actually did not golf until I moved here.
Okay.
So it was always one of
So
those
it's a
things
newish thing for you.
Yeah,
then.
it is.
So for you to already have already got to 84, that's great. You've only been here for 5 years.
Thanks.
That's good.
Yeah. Been golfing for, I want to say about 4 years.
Nice.
But
if you get that lesson before your brother starts playing, then you'll be guaranteed to be able to never lose to him.
There you go.
Where does he live? Still in Colorado Springs? Okay.
Yeah.
So at least there's not a ton of opportunity to play golf.
No.
Or maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. So,
well, all 4 of his kids play baseball.
Okay.
Or his daughter plays softball.
So he's a baseball dad.
Oh yeah. That's their life. Yeah.
That's like a year-round thing these days.
It is. It is even in Colorado.
Yeah.
They have like these big indoor facilities where they play baseball. I know. It's crazy.
Kid sports have just become out of control.
Yeah. I talked to a lot of people about this. Do you remember when we were kids? Do you remember anybody playing club sports?
No, I don't think they existed.
I mean, maybe it was like some rich kid.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they're
the closest
special.
thing I can think of would have been like a dad, like a family that would have been a member of a country club. Maybe they would have had golf lessons early, right? That would have probably the closest thing to club sports.
Yeah,
at that time.
That was not the circle I grew up in.
No, me either. Not even close. No, I did kind of all the sports for a little bit of, and then dabbled and never was good enough and ended up retiring early after my sophomore year and picked up skiing and was never good enough at golf to be on the golf team or play JV or varsity basketball. I went to a huge school, so. I picked up the life sports as a kind of a junior in high school.
Nice.
Love them all now still.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's funny. My son, so he played baseball when he was younger and then he switched over. Now he plays golf for school and cross country.
Oh, cool.
So he's doing the life sports thing
already.
Awesome.
It's great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's very practical.
I love it.
Getting started early.
Yeah. Playing music, sports fanatic.
Exactly.
Life sports.
Doing things that he can do for the rest
driver's license.
Yep.
Big year for him.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, hey, I really appreciate, Tyler, you being on the show today. So great to be able to meet you. It's fun to admire you from the stage. I'm not on the stage. It's fun to see you on the stage doing something you love, playing music as well. So keep that up. That's a blessing to be a part of. And we appreciate you sitting here and sharing your story with us and giving us some of your time. The whole goal of this is that somebody is interested in meeting you, right? So ideally the best way to do business with anybody is because somebody knows, likes, and trusts you, right? So the goal is that this conversation, hopefully today, introduces you to somebody in a way that now they think, hey, I think I kind of know Tyler, who he is a little bit. And I certainly like him. I mean, we've got lots in common potentially, whatever that looks like for somebody. But ideally then that would lead to, hey, I think I could trust Tyler to help my family. What's the best way for somebody to get in touch with you?
Yeah, that's good. Well, quick side note, just because you're a Niner fan doesn't mean you can't be my friend.
I'm not a Niner fan.
I know, not you.
Should clarify.
I'm just saying, just
you're telling the audience. Fair enough. Yeah,
because you're saying like they get to know you and hopefully they like me. Yes. So I'm a big Seahawks fan, but that doesn't mean I have a lot of Niner fan friends. So good. Just to clarify,
that's a good clarification. Yeah. That's good.
Even Astros, I know.
Ooh,
that's pushing it.
That's true. George Springer on the Blue Jays now.
Yeah. Best way, so our website, it's bestfs.co.
Okay. Put that on the screen here.
Cool.
Yep.
bestfs.co, not com, but co.
Okay.
So that's probably, best way to check us out.
Awesome.
Our contact info's on there.
And you've got a bio page on there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The About Us and
awesome.
Lots of good resources on the website.
Cool. Our goal is that this conversation maybe would live on your bio page someday. So
sure.
Maybe somebody listening will find it right there. We'll see.
I'll have to have compliance listen to it and see if they're okay with it.
Exactly. That's true.
I don't think we said anything. I didn't say anything about investing or
nope.
Yeah.
Just storytelling today.
Yeah. That's always the issue with compliance,
Yeah. Well, awesome, man. Great story. And we really appreciate you giving your time to us. And we're hopeful this leads to great things for you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. And I cannot believe how fast this went. Yeah. You started concluding and I'm like, holy cow.
Yep.
I feel like we just did an introduction.
Yeah. Well, the fun thing is now I get to go do the introduction.
There you go.
Yeah.